jungle. Paolo Pulingue. Benvenuti nella giungla dei graffiti. Questo è Impostore, Rockstar. It's the fake Rockstar chat show. Pensieri Tangentiali. Formerly known as Tangential Thoughts chat show. We're working on a podcast soon. Sono to a copy of Sono Chief Gihareh Julius Caesar Augustus K. Napoleon. Alright. Now. Metroid Prime. PHAZON Mimes. The Gauntlet. Let me get my poll up. Okay. Will it fit? Alright, there it worked. Okay. So, first thing I want to say is that anything you're going through, somebody went through 5 years ago on Reddit. Alright? Now, the best advice is to get good at the game. Nah. Get good. Nah, but okay. Now, I just want to say a couple things. Now, initially when I went to it, I was like, yeah, this is a little bit difficult. I had 5 energy tanks. So, what I ended up going back and doing, but what I didn't do was, there were 2 energy tanks prior to getting to the PHAZON mines in the water. So one, you're not able to go past that one part anyway. You'll see the energy tank, but you need your suit upgrade before you can go further anyway. So that first one that's right there, before you start making those series of jumps up, right? So that first one, blast a missile at the ground, that's one, right? Blast a missile at the ground. And then towards that, and then you can get that one. I had to go back and get that one. And then I knew something was over there, but I didn't know what. And it's like when you're in the morph ball and going, it's a clear part. You kind of notice like you could go up, but if you just drop down, you'll keep going and you'll go to the PHAZON mines. But actually on that part, there's another energy tank. And so what you gotta do with that one is you gotta jump. You're in your morph ball, so you jump, and right before you get to the top of your jump, you want to drop a blast so that when you fall down, you fall on the blast and you'll go up. You gotta do that twice, and then the other energy tank is gonna be on to the left. So I got, with 5 energy tanks, I was able to get up to the elite pirate, and then after that, it was just, I was like, oh man. So I got to the elite pirate, and then like this was after a couple run-throughs. And so the best advice though, and this is like legitimately a thing, the best advice is to get good at the game. Nah, the best advice is to memorize the enemies and as they come. All right, the best thing to do is to memorize the enemies on each part, so like the door and whatnot. So I think I linked. So I think I have 2 parts, right? So on the live stream, when I got 7 energy tanks, I actually got to like that final part, but I didn't know what to do from there. And then I just made another little video. Now the video on this last little part is bad, but the live stream footage up to that, like I actually got to the last little part, and and that's actually the last thing you do. I was just because it's at a certain point like. So again, the best advice is to memorize the enemies as they come up. So as I was going through, I'm sitting here trying to, I'm like, okay, I can get here. But I think when I finally got to that part, I didn't know what to do. So again, 5 energy tanks, I made it right past the elite pirate. 7 energy tanks, I got all the way to the end. I gotta give So I got to do a quick little freestyle. Oh snap! I gotta do a pumpkin on my head. I hope you heard what I said. I was talking about playing Metroid. Apple's a better iPhone than Android, and technically you're Android because the technology part is just outside of you, and Elon Musk is trying to put the chip pause on the inside of you, and then we'll all be Androids for real in real life. Yeah, all right, I just had to do a quick little freestyle. All right, back to the Metroid advice. So thank you. Grazie is how you say thank you in Italian. Prego is how you say you're welcome in Italian. Grazie is how you say thank you. Grazie mille. Thank you so much. Thank you for the pumpkin head gift. All right. So the best advice is because you're probably going to go through it a couple times. And so the best advice is to memorize the enemies as they come up through certain doors and on certain parts. So, for example, if you got that first save station, and so this is the gauntlet. So mind you, the other part about this is that people actually call this a gauntlet, and this is like, it's noticeably a hard part of the game. All right, we got another pumpkin on my head. I had to do another freestyle. I said this was a hard part of the game. We're playing the game on normal. The difficulty is not Hall of Fame, and the name of the game is Metroid. All right, another little freestyle. Grazie is how you say thank you in Italian. Prego is how you say you're welcome in Italian. All right, let's do this. Io sono? All right, let's do this. So when you first come out the save station, there are going to be like a couple little space pirates there, but you can just, if you watch my gameplay, I'll just go for the one that jumps down because that one's going to like aim at you for real. But that's like 2 missiles, he's done. You know what I'm saying? Then you go through the door. Now, another little, it's just a nuance and a hard part of this, and this is why it's like, the advice, you just got to get good at the game. It's not like that bad, but it's like, there are certain things you're going to have to do as well, as far as you're going to have to switch back and forth. Like, again, be going between white doors and purple doors. So you're going to have to, switch between both your whatchamacallits. The other part I'm saying is that some of these pirates, they go invisible. The upgraded pirates go invisible. So you're going to have to use your heat mask. And so I should probably get the timer on this. So this is around the 7-minute mark. Okay. So one of them is you're gonna have to switch. You have to switch back in between your arm cannons. We got another gift, and this time it's a brush. I'm trying to talk and not in a rush. Now, an artist has a brush, or you can brush your hair. You know it ain't fair. Life, people call it strife. Why is it happy house, happy wife? And no. Happy life, happy wife, when it should be happy spouse, happy house. It's things like that. Quick little freestyle. Grazie. That's how you say thank you in Italian. Prego. That's how you say welcome in Italian. All right. So when you're going through, it's a couple things of just switching back in between like your thermal mask so that you can see certain, space pirates. We got another gift. I said space. As you're coming up against certain enemies, face to face, make sure if you're a woman and you're walking at night, you carry some mace. And you might want to pick up the pace. But life is a marathon, not a sprint. But then again, life isn't a race. Quick little freestyle. Grazie. That's how you say thank you in Italian. Prego. That's how you say welcome in Italian. All right. So just switching back in between arm cannons and the wave doors and the white doors, that's a whole thing, right? The wave doors, the white doors, that's a whole thing. So when you get to like that first part, you're going to have to just turn on your thermal and just get ready to use your missiles. And I think it's like 2 or 3. I'm gonna just say 3. It's like 3 space pirates right there, but they go invisible. So you gotta turn your thermal mask on. That's 2 missiles each. Then they're done, right? And then it starts to wrap around, go around the corner. And then I think the first time I think this is like the very next one. When you start to wrap around the corner, and you're gonna wrap around a couple times, and you're like, oh, and then it gets into a cut screen. And when it gets into that cut screen, you're going to see the upgraded version of the Space Pirates. The upgraded version of the Space Pirates are black and purple. This is the thing that we're going to talk about, we're going to get to. Because there's a couple upgraded pirates. The first upgraded pirates you see are black and purple. And so, with that, the first upgraded Space Pirates are black and purple. Now, with them, they're going to take about, if you have your Wave Buster, that means you got to hold, and so it's just using both of these. You got to hold your R, your ZR, and then press your R. You got to hold your ZR and then press your R. And this is one of those, like, at this point in the game, you actually just started, whatchamacallit. So you got to, what's this one, this ZR? Yeah. You got to hold your ZR and then press your R. Now, somebody did say that you don't have to get it to a full charge, but you want to get it up there. So that's the first wave of like a new, and mind you, the other part is every time there's a new enemy, you have to scan it, right? So you have to scan it. So the first upgraded pirates are, they're gonna be black and purple. You gotta scan them, so that means you gotta get into a position that you can scan them, and then you hold ZR and then press R. Each one of them are going to take about 3 of those blasts. Now, the good thing about those type of blasts is that when you hit them with that first one, it will stun them. So it's a matter of you charging it up, R, ZR, hold ZR, R, hold ZR, R, right? That's like, but it's like 3 of those. So I think my first time kind of whatchamacallit, I was like, oh, I'm not sure how I'm about to, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, even once you get past those, it's like, oh man, there's still so much more. So I think, and this is just me kind of like, because I've been through it a couple times now, and I went through it, I did it on live. So one was, okay, from the save station, I at least take out that one right there. That's 2 missiles. Get to the next door, and then it might be I think that's an ice door. Get through that door, and then it's gonna be 3. Turn your heat visor on. That's about 6 missiles, boom, boom, boom. That's if you aim in and got all of them just out the way, right? And then go around the corner, it's the upgraded James. The upgraded black and purple. That's 9 blasts, and this is assuming that you get them all on those blasts, and none of it just goes away. So, right? And mind you, it's 3 of them, so they could possibly be jumping you and like these type of things. But you can do it. You can do it pretty well. You can do it pretty well. Something I was kind of doing, like, I guess if you want to call it the punk way or the smart way, whatever. I was saving energy and health. So it is like I would go around the corner, and I would do the same thing for some of the doors. I would get to the door, go through the door kind of just a little bit, see who's over there. Because if you can scan and see who's there first, and then be like, okay, I can switch to this arm cannon before I need to whatchamacallit. So I would like go there, I would kind of scan them, because it's 3 of them, and they're gonna all come, and they're gonna come around the corner, they're gonna jump you. So I was kind of like going around the corner and still just like, I was kind of like luring them around the corner, but giving me enough time to like charge up the beam and go with that. What up? So I was just charging, I was going around the corner, charging the beam, and then going like that. So that was able to save me some space. That was able to save me some health and different things like that. So that's another thing. As you're going to certain doors, you can kind of try to peek through first, switch to that cannon, and then go attach them that way. And then with those first wave busters, those first upgraded pirates that are black and purple, I would kind of lure them around the corner as I'm charging up, and then boom, that first one I'm hitting it, because you're charging it up, is going to whatchamacallit. I'm just talking about METROID. I'm talking about some games. I'm just giving some tips and advice on this PHAZON Mines Gauntlet part for METROID. Now from there, again, when you hit them, once you charge it up and hit them, they stun up. So you can like charge up again, boom, charge up again, boom. They're gonna take at least 3. Each of them take at least 3. Now, once you get through there, again, you can just be scanning stuff. I think there's one door you're not gonna be able to get through that. The Bendesium, we're gonna talk about that. So now you're gonna from there, the next one, I think I go back to your thermal visor, go back to your thermal, and then I think it's gonna be a couple more just of those, but that's like maybe like 2 or 3 of them, but just missiles, and you can get through those, and now like those aren't that bad either. Now Then I think you finally get to, and I could be having the order wrong for certain stuff, but I think this is one of those first little parts. There's a room, and when you first get into this room, I think when you first get into this room, there are 2 more space pirates right here, like just one there and one there, and there's a whole bunch of stuff to scan. 1, 2, missile, 1, 2, missile. Yeah, get them out the way, right? But if you can, like again, you'll spot them because they'll just be standing there. But when you get into the room, you can just be like, all right, boom, 1, 2, boom, 1, 2, boom. Knock them out the way. You won't lose too much health. That's them there. Now in this room, scan everything. We got another gift. All right, so let's do it. Freestyle. Grazie is how you say thank you in Italian. Prego is how you say you're welcome in Italian. So I said scan. Now how you want to cook the chicken? In the pan, if you want to saute it or fry it. And then there's somebody named Dan. I said you got to walk into the room and scan. There's somebody named Dan. How you want to cook the chicken in the pan. No Peter Pan. And then what's the color of the shirts on my website? Tan, sand. All right, and then the 10 man. All right, we just had to do a freestyle. Grazie is how you say thank you in Italian. Prego is how you say welcome in Italian. Now, 1, 2, missile, 1, 2, missile, boom. Scan, scan, scan. Now, when you scan, the platforms are going to drop down. The platforms are going to drop down. When the platforms drop down, here's another little part of just like, you just kind of know, like, this is what's coming up. Hop onto the platforms. I do not like falling in this game. So hop onto the platform. Now, when you get up there, the upgraded black and purple space pirates are going to be there again. It's going to be 2 of them. So for me, I was already charging. Now, but they come from different directions, kind of sort of depending on where you stand at. But I automatically, I hop up. When I get to that third one, I'm holding on ZR already, and I start running around the corner. When you get that first one, you hit them. It's going to stun them. And then charge up, hold ZRR, hold ZRR. He should be done in 3, and then another one's gonna be coming right behind him. So same thing, hold ZRR, get them, they're done. Now on that platform, you actually have to go around anyway. You scan on that side, and then platforms are gonna drop again. When platforms drop again, you're gonna have to go to, now again, this is where it's like when they say get good at the game and just certain things like, and now this next one, it's another upgraded space pirate, but instead of the purple wave cannon, you're gonna have to go back to your normal cannon, your normal power cannon. And so again, since it's a new enemy space pirate for you, you're going to have to scan it. Now he gives you a little bit of time because he's standing behind the computer, but then he's gonna start moving. He's gonna start, you know what I'm saying, blasting at you. So you're gonna have to hop up those 3, scan him, and then once you scan him, but I would already say switch to your power, your arm, your first original cannon. And I think of the upgraded space ones, that one's the toughest. He may pause. I don't think he really pauses in that third. Like, and the reason I say that is because with the purple one, when you hit them, ZRR, when you hit them, they phase. With an ice person, they get frozen. That one might have been the hardest one for me because like he don't do that. So it's like he just be blasting you. So you got to just be trying to dodge. But again, if you fall off, that's a whole nother thing. So it's like me and him just be going back at it. But it's only one of him. So that's the next upgraded space pirate. You gotta use your regular arm, whatchamacallit. Anything else is gonna bounce off of them, right? So then I think it's just one right there. And then I think you scan again. And this one is I think with these platforms, I think this one is the where you got to, there is a cannon up top. It's a little, and if you scan, it beams into the wall. And then there is a booster thing over here. You gotta get into a morph ball, get into the booster. Do that, right? Do that. So the thing is, there's an actual missile expansion pack over there. So there's 2 things that you basically gotta get through for this one. You gotta go into the morph ball regardless. You get into the morph ball, directly across from you is the wall. So when the cannon is facing that wall, go back to the computer jank, scan it, it'll blast the wall, that door opens. But you got to bring it back around. And I would just, it's like right around there somewhere, but it's not directly, like, I wouldn't say like a 90 degree. It's probably at like a 30, 45-ish type of thing. It's like right there. That's what you want to get. That's what you want to get. You want to get that one. So when you get that, the missile expansion is right there. It kind of looks like it actually is 90 degrees, but the cannon don't be looking like it's exactly at 90 degrees. Anyway, but if you go to the middle and then you hop across, the missile expansion is there. You grab that, go back through it. Now from there, like, there's just so much more to keep going, right? So on the next part, what happens on the next part? Now, let me see. I know that there's another room. I'm trying to see here. I'm trying to see if that's what's next. My memory could be a little like hazy or foggy about exactly what's next, but I have it on my. I have the live stream. The live stream, I was able, not the first time I did it, but the second time. And the only reason I didn't like actually complete it and probably get through it on that second time was because I messed up really bad on one room, and I was just like, oh man. So now I'm gonna just talk about a couple parts then. There's one room that you get into, and there are upgraded cannon people again. There's a couple. Oh, so there's like a couple little elevators to like drop down. That's one thing. There's a couple elevators to drop down. They're not elevators. They're like, you got to get into a morph ball, and stuff. Well, electric stuff will be there. That happens twice, but that's not. You may or may not lose any energy off that. You may just get through. Those are just like small little nuances. It's just like, just get through that, right? There is another little room, and it's just something to like just be aware of. There's a room, and like the upgraded power cannon people are there, and I think it's like 2 of those when you get in there. And so it's like, I think of the upgraded whatchamacallits, I think they're the toughest ones. Now I'm not sure if this is the room. I'm not sure where the elite pirate comes in at, but I just know the elite pirate's not that bad, and other people have the same similar sentiment. I'm not sure if I scanned it on when I actually completed it, but you can scan the thing when it's back. You can scan the elite space pirate, and you can scan the thing on his back. I'm not sure if I scanned the thing on his back on the way there, but the biggest advice I would say for that is just use your super missile. Use your regular cannon, ZR, R, ZR, R. Hold ZR, then press R. Use your super cannon like a couple times with that, and then if he ever does the little, like he smashes the ground. He's slow. He's just slow, and just on the third, nothing ever really. The only thing that might get you is the little when he smashes the ground and that little wave thing. But if you time like your space jump, like you can do one, and then if you kind of like wait a little bit right before you watch a while, and then do another one, I think because I think I avoided it like once, and so that one's not too bad. I would just say use your super charged up cannon. So that's one, right? Do that. But immediately after. So you're gonna scan everything there. I think immediately after the elite space pirate is upgraded ice pirate. So it's like the first one you're gonna see an upgraded, and then you're gonna use your purple wave buster for those pirates. The next upgraded pirate you're gonna see is the arm cannon. The power arm cannon, I think it's just called your power cannon. You're gonna have this, and that's just your normal one that you first got. That's the next one. The last, you're gonna see another upgraded pirate, but this is for the ice beam. And this is like immediately after the space pirate, the elite space pirate. So immediately after the Elite Space Pirate, you're gonna go up to whatchamacallit, and the ice ones are gonna come. The ice one, and so again, with it, since it's a new one, a new space pirate, you gotta scan it. So you gotta scan that, and then, but the only thing about that one, it is gonna take about 2 or 3 whole ZRR. It's gonna take about 2 or 3 of those. But the thing about that one is, at least when you do it the first time, it will freeze them, and they, you know what I'm saying, and so you can hit them a couple more times with that, and so that's one is not as bad as I think for me the power cannon one is the one that's like the toughest one. So there's that. Then you get into that room, you're gonna scan some stuff in there. I think there is there's just like those, and then I think when you get into the room with the pillar, connect it, you're gonna be able to see it too. So get into the morph ball, go behind the little thing, get into the morph ball, and press A until it, and I think you only gotta do it once, and it's gonna turn, and that's for the blue path. That's for the blue path. And then I think there may be, it may happen on the next part, but within that room, an upgraded space pirate is gonna come again. I think a black and purple one. I think an upgraded space pirate is gonna come again in that one too. But it's not on the bottom floor, maybe like on the next floor. It's just something to be aware of. So, again, on this one, at the bottom is for the blue connector. And so with this, it's the blue, a red, and a yellow spider path. You'll be able to see that it's not connected, but when you get into the morph ball and you press A, and it'll rotate, the bottom rotates. You're on the bottom floor, the bottom rotates. And then, but I think if you only gotta do it once, and you'll see that the blue will get connected. So go around to the blue path, and then the blue path you can just follow it all the way through, and then you land on the second part. Now, when you get to the second part, the thing to do with that one, I think you may have to do it twice on this one, but on the second level, when you get into the morph ball, it's going to spin the middle part of, and you can't even get to the next part, the top part. So it's just like you're only working with those 2 parts anyway. So it's the red part. With the red part, you're going to have it twist, and I think you may have to do it twice or so, but you'll see it, and you'll see the red get connected. And then what you're gonna have to do is jump down, go back to the bottom, and look at the, you can look at the pillar thing, but you're basically trying to get all the red to connect. So you may and I think you have to do it like, 3 times. So connect it at the top, connect the red on the second level, go back to the first level, and connect the, and I think you have to do it 3 times, and then the red connects. So that's that. Now, after that, what do you want to do after that? What you want to do from there? From there, after you have the red connect, go up the red path. You'll be whatchamacallit. Again, you can't go further, and then from there, let me see I just know that, like, there's another little back stretch. And I think the toughest part on the back stretch of this, cause it's like another little run. I was just like, yo, when does it finally end? But it gets in a sense, it gets kind of easier after that though. Like once you're there, it does get kind of sort of easier. And cause I think once I had got to this part, I had got that much further. So I just think that from there is like there's a room, and it's gonna be a cut screen, and the little gas stuff is gonna start coming. I didn't do anything in that room. I just immediately went to the other side, got to the door, and just get out. Otherwise, you're just gonna lose health. So I just immediately just start going to the other side, make that left. It's an ice door, get through there, and just go to the other side. Now, I think that may be the whole gauntlet part. I think that may be the whole thing for real. I at least feel like I mentioned most of the parts. I feel like I mentioned most of the parts. Now, from there is what happens from here. The last tough part for me, which I got to it and I was like, yeah, I didn't know what to do, right? I got to it again, and this is like off the live stream. I got to it this morning, and I was I actually had decent health, and so and I was a little bit frustrated because I was like, yo, I didn't know what to do. So like in this room, a turret comes and it's basically invisible almost. Like you can barely see it. The only things about this is it's not taking too much health, so like you can withstand some attacks from it, but it's not taking too much health. You can withstand some attacks. Other than that, I'm trying to see. You can withstand some attacks. So like that it gives you like basically like getting, and that's the only thing about having the, because somebody said they did it with 5 energy tanks, and it's like I definitely think it's like kind of sort of possible, but like me having that 7 was enough for me to like, because I barely made it, you know what I'm saying? But it was like having enough time to like figure something out, to figure out, okay, what is working, what's the third. Now, and the reason I say this is because of this little tough part, the toughest part is like the number of new enemies that just will come up throughout this gauntlet, right? And you happen to scan them, and then using certain whatchamacallits, you have to use certain switching between your arm cannon, scanning whatchamacallits. This door is a purple door, this door is a white door, going to your heat thermal visor, doing all that type of stuff, right? So I think the other than part for this one, the only thing that this reminded me of is the tough boss. For me, there were like a couple of things that were like tough for me, and that one was there was this fire, like incinerator type John, like early in the game in Magmore Caverns. It's this incinerator type John. It comes up. That one was tough because I wasn't sure. That one, and I think the first time I faced the She-Goth, like the big one, the mammoth one, I wasn't sure. Like I was like, bro, am I doing the right thing? And but it's one of those, so it was one of those. If it turns red, if it turns red, it's not a third, then you are doing damage, right? Because I didn't know like the incinerator. When I first faced incinerator, I was like, bro, like, am I doing the right thing? But it's just a matter of just persevering, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I was on the right path, I was doing the right thing. And the She-Goth was the same thing. I was like, yo, and it was just a matter of perseverance and just whatchamacallit. So the tough part about I actually don't know how like I really actually did it, but it's like I got the gameplay and I was like, you can see I was just playing. So when I get to the turret, the tough part about, like, because I'm thinking like, yo, am I supposed to scan something in a room? So that was one thing. Like, you can actually see, like, I'm trying to scan in a room because somebody was mentioning, I'm not even going to mention to you because I don't know what you got. But there was nothing else to scan in the room. I was like, yo, am I supposed to scan something? Like, what's supposed to be going on? And there's 2 different doors. One just has a seal on it, and one has the bendesium through it. So one has the bendesium over it blocking the door, and the other one has you got to secure the room first. So when you scan that, you're like, oh, I really have to stay in here and do something about this. So I was there, and then here's what happened as I was, like, again, it was just having enough health to kind of sort of, just kind of figure this part out, right? Because it does damage, but it's like you can withstand some of it depending on how much health you conserved up to this point. So what happened right there? It was, you can't lock onto it, but if you do aim at it and this and that third, it will, your combat visor, scan visor will, like, if you hold ZL to lock on, it'll be blue. But then when you add a certain space and it's right in your peripheral, like not in your peripheral, but when it's like actual target, it turns red. That was the thing, right? So and I'm like, okay, well, since it just turned red, let me just try to, you know what I'm saying, get at it. Now, the first time I went through, and I wasn't sure, like, I had only used, I wasn't sure which one. I think when I finally finished it, I was on my purple wave beam, right? So I was like, boom, right? So again, you can't lock onto it, but if it's right in your target, it will turn red. And that's the time you need to just go ahead and so doing that. One thing I noticed, and I thought like, oh, I thought it had glitched, but it stops moving. So that's one thing. I don't know, isn't there? I was aiming at it, and then like again, it will turn red, and it will stop moving. I thought the game glitched, but then it happened again. I'm like, oh, I'm not sure what's causing it to do that, but I'm like, all right, boom. So I'm like, all right, at least when it's red, right? And I'm just starting to, at this point, it stopped moving. So I'm just unloading. I'm trying to like switch between cannons and trying to figure out which one to go. Now, some of the stuff is like, boom, just like bouncing off of it. But I hit it with a purple charge, hold ZR, right? So like literally, like you can watch it as I was sitting there playing. Like, and the only thing I was just kind of like, I was losing health, so I got kind of excited, and I wasn't like I didn't have the switch in the camera, and so that was the only thing I was like. But you can see, I was like, oh snap, I did it, and so I was like, there is a part like it stops moving, and I think I was just hold ZR. I think that one was finally getting to it, and again, there's part of it where it's just like you gonna have to just have some type of like perseverance, because like what you're doing is working. So then. I just ended up finishing it. I was like, oh, I got it. I just know hold ZR, and at some point, if you are aiming, if you wait until it locks on, it doesn't lock on, but at least turn red, and that's when you're whatchamacallit, because it stops to pew, 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 or zzz, with the lasers and whatnot, so you can like sit there and be able to get a good target at it. That's one of the things. You can sit there and get a good target on it, so that it can go from blue to red and then just start aiming from there. But it does like pause, and then you can start doing some more stuff, and it's just like a matter. And I think I had it paused at least twice. But then the last time that it was like when I actually finished it, it was like going around and about to start this and that third, and I had got close, and I was just I'm saying, just still whatchamacallit. And I was like low-key kind of panicking, but I was like, got it. But then it's like, I was like, oh, I'm done. The only thing I would mention, because I didn't get it in the video for real, but it's kind of sort of like, and I had a little bit of health. And then when you're going through on the, so the next part is like, you got to get into a more pool and go to the bottom of the floor. When you're on the bottom of the floor, yeah, you got to keep going. You go around. You go around and to make it back. When you go around, because at first I thought I was like, say, okay, am I stuck again? Because you go through like the electricity is blue, but then there's like this orange electricity that phases in and out, right? It'll zzz, zzz. So you just kind of like, all right, go through there, and then you get to this little part. At least I didn't note it in the video though. It looks like a water spill to me in a sense. It's kind of silvery, and so when I first got there, I was like, am I stuck? Like, what the heck am I supposed to do? And this was one of those, I'm gonna just try this, and whatever happens, que sera, sera. So I got there, and then I pressed A. Oh, I'm talking about on the little silvery stuff. It's like a little puddle on this little silvery giant. I got there, I was like, let's see what happens. I press A, and then it clears stuff out for you. So it's like, that's actually what you're supposed to do. So do that, because otherwise because at first I was about to say, well, am I just supposed to like lose health and just get through the blue electricity? But no, you're not getting through there. So I was like, all right. I was like, I don't have like 24 health at this point. Then get to the other little part, You get another one of them little silvery things. Press A again, and then you better make it all the way through, and then it's basically you get another blast for your, instead of pressing A, you're gonna press R, and this is get past the bendesium stuff. So then the whole thing just, and then you get up. Now, if you go, because I'm like, all right, I just got this. I'm supposed to use it, right? And I go through the next door, and I'm like, oh no. I was like, oh no, right? I go through the next door. Well, no. It's two doors. One that had the seal on it, but all you need to do was secure the area. The other one has a bendesium block, which you can now use with your new upgraded on the power suit in the morph ball. So you gotta go into a morph ball, press R. So I went to a morph ball, press R to get that bendesium out the way. And then I went through the door, and I'm like, oh no, it's people here. So I'm like, I go back to the other side, go to the other door, the one that just had the seal on it. There's the other save station. Bro, I'm not sure if anybody ever watches this, if this was ever helpful at all, any parts of this. I feel like I Am Legend, when he's like putting that on I Am Legend, when he's like, if anybody can hear me, I'll be at the docks at 12 p.m. every day. This, that, third, boom, boom, right? So, but I feel like if anybody ever in the future is going to play this game, Metroid Prime Remastered, you get to the PHAZON mines. I hope this helps. I really hope this helps. Just understand, anything you're going through, somebody went through 8 years ago on Reddit. All right? Get good at the game. Nah. But the best advice, I would say, I already said it, is the memorization part. Memorizing which enemies are coming, kind of sort of getting each arm cannon prepared. Before, like, kind of peek through the door, see who's there. Just peeking. I think peeking, seeing who's there, what's coming up, and is a matter of you knowing what's coming up, and then you also peeking behind the door, saying, okay, this is what's coming up, this is what's happening next, those type of things. So that would, yeah. I truly do hope that this offers some piece of advice or some help to anybody who ever like goes to play this game, gets to the PHAZON mines. And I think if you have 5 energy tanks, I think it's possible. You're gonna need to really be good. If you have 7 energy tanks, you can definitely do it. 7 energy tanks. But the only thing I was about to say about, like, with 7 energy tanks, getting to this getting to a certain point, it is, at some point you really will, there's like a level of mastery and skill that you will have had. Cause it got to a point, like, and it's like, if I had a slip up or a mess up, it was like, having 7 energy tanks gives you that little bit of insurance. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, even after I defeated the turret, that last turret, I bumped into part of the wall, like the little electric part in the morph ball, just see if, like, okay, maybe am I just supposed to lose a little bit of health to just try to get through here? But that 7 energy tanks is enough. The amount of missiles, I don't think is negligible. The amount of missiles is negligible, and the reason I say that is because, like, it's not negligible, but you're gonna need what? There's 2006. That's 8. Then there may be like a 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Okay. The only reason I say never mind is because I was using the super missile on the elite pirate counts as 5. So never mind. I was about to say 20, and then you need about 20 just for the other people, and then I was using the super jank for the elite pirate, so there's that. But yeah, I really hope, man, that would really make me. I don't know, maybe one day. Again, if you are watching this at any point in time in the future, and anything has helped you complete this, like if you complete it after watching this video, you see what I'm saying? Or again, so one thing I want to say, the live stream that's in the description box, that basically has everything. The live stream in the description box, that basically has everything up until the last part. I wasn't able to figure out that last part until whatchamacallit. And then that has good footage. The video has like it's not that good, but you can kind of see that I do finish it. It happens. So either watch I would say watch the live stream and then watch that video if you want to see it like just completed. But like, yeah. But yeah, if you are playing Metroid Prime Remaster on a Nintendo Switch, if the live stream in the description box, this live stream or the video, if any of that helps you and you complete it afterwards, man, please let me know what was helpful and decide like I may have the option if I make another video that could be more concise with something, but that was yeah, I would have really just let me know how your thoughts and feelings on it. Let me know how many energy tanks did you need? How many missiles did you have? I came in again. I had 5 energy tanks and 90 at first. I had to go back to get that, so I had 7 energy tanks and 90. I ended up getting the other 2 expansions. Oh, there's another expansion pack. I forgot to mention that. See, there's another expansion pack along that way. So I now have like 100. But yeah, I would really after this, please let me know how many energy tanks you had. I guess energy tanks and missiles, and if any parts of this live stream, the other live stream, or the video was helpful to you.